Hi, it's Kyle T. Mosley of the Black Sports Insiders here with my main man from the urban sports scene, Mr. Ray Rogers. What's going on, Ray?
Hey, what's happening? Big weekend, brother. I've been watching you too. You letting the world know that you picked South Carolina State.
I sure did. I gotta let y'all know, man. I called it way back when. I'm like Babe Ruth. I called it, baby. I knew it. I had to call Coach Barry this morning to say congratulations. He won the American Coaches Foundation Association's award for Region 2. And he's the coach of the year. And he's also puts him in the finalists for National Coach of the Year. So, congratulations to him as well as the South Carolina State Bulldogs for what they've been able to accomplish this season. It's been a big season for the Bulldogs so far. They still have one more to go, and that's senior day. They're going to play Norfolk State. Ray, you're the East Coast guy. How you see this one coming out?
Well, you know what's interesting is it's of course been wide circulated now. The news has been circulated that Eric Phoenix, the starting quarterback for South Carolina State, he went down, and Ryan Stubblefield comes in. It's only 7-0 at the time. South Carolina State's leading Morgan State 7-0. Of course, they won 54-7, and the media room, the fans, everybody was like, "Okay, wait a minute, maybe Morgan's on even playing field now." No, Ryan Stubblefield comes in and he does the daggone thing. He also showed he was a dual threat. Many were already saying he could throw the ball. I think Coach Barry put it out there early in the year saying our backup has a strong arm, but he's also a runner and he looked good. So it's like he could start against Norfolk State, which is probably going to happen. They're going to rest up Eric Phoenix for the Celebration Bowl. And South Carolina State probably won't miss a beat. I just feel like that's quite amazing, Kyle. When your backup quarterback can come in and pick up the slack and your team with that great offensive line looks just as good as they did with the starter, man. That's amazing. And Norfolk State, I don't know if they have what it takes up front to compete in the trenches with that O line for Coach Barry and the Bulldogs.
Well, Coach Barry had to tell y'all. He had to let you guys know we got a good backup. We prepare everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody for the game. Not just one person. Just not my main man, Eric Phoenix. Mrs. Stubblefield as well.
He said it. I trust my guys. I
I
trust
trust
all
my
my
guy.
guys. Yeah.
That's right.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
did a great job, and that was great reporting that you had coming from the conference win, as well
Mhm.
as them clinching the conference championship last week. And we have another winner in the house.
Uh-oh.
Is another thing, Keisha J. Kelly. How you doing, Keish?
Listen, I can't even figure out my password for my computer. So I'm on my phone. I was like, I've had this for like 20, I
Oh
don't
my
need,
God.
oh, God,
That's all
no,
right.
but
It happens. You're looking good. You're looking good. I see you representing as always, SU.
every day in the office, they said, do you have anything else to wear?
That's okay, Keish. Well, talk about you guys, Southern Jaguars, Coach Terrence Graves. You guys were able to clinch the Western Division in the SWAC. Talk about that.
It was a great time. I'm just like Coach Graves. Uh, Going to the game knowing that it's the next game, not because you're gonna clinch this actual title. And that's the same thing. Like I was telling our alumni, I was like, yo, it's the next game on the schedule. That's the same thing Coach Graves said. So we got to go into this like it's the next game on the schedule. And of course they were like, no, we gotta clinch before Bayou Classic. I mean, I had no. They just wanted to do it. And so, of course, we clinched, but we got the razzle dazzle with Big Miles. We got the razzle dazzle with the scoop and score. That
Rumbling,
has made it to
stumbling.
yeah, it's gone viral. So just to be able to do that, Coach Graves was talking about how his phone, he thought his phone had crashed and how everybody was calling, and
Yeah.
it was a feeling to to be able to clinch on Saturday and to be able to see where because I'm literally in Montgomery at the Alabama State game when all this was going on. So It was. It was. You know, it was a good. We headed back to the Veterans Stadium.
All right. But you know what was great about it, man, and a lot of if you look at what TC Taylor has done, as well as Coach Terrence Graves has been able to accomplish, and then you look at what Coach Chennis Berry has accomplished in his first season at South Carolina State. A lot of firsts and newbies who are really making it happen in HBCU football right now, man, and it's great to see, Ray.
It is. I mean, shout out
Correct.
to both. I watched Coach Graves saying in his press conference that he's a winner, and he took the long route. And both him and Coach Berry have had these long coaching journeys, but it's just a blessing to see them succeeding and to see them succeeding in their first seasons. I mean, it's something that college football, not just black college football, I want to say college football needs, man. Guys need to get opportunities, new faces, and coaches that have that pedigree. And I'm so excited for both of them, especially Coach Berry, who, you know, people were saying on the field right after that game, not bad for a D2 coach, not bad for a D2 coach, because he's heard it so much. And Coach Graves, he said, I've heard it all as well. So the job's not done yet. And Coach Berry kept reminding me of that. And I'm sure Coach Graves knows that as well. But still exciting to see both of them in the position that they're in, for sure.
Which is, say that because he's coach 1 and D2. So that's why I don't understand why you would call him a D2 coach.
Crazy.
Yeah,
let's listen to Coach Graves right now. God.
It's a blessing, and it shows that if you stay faithful, you trust and believe, he'll work it out for you. And then it just says 32 years, and I've heard all the he don't have any experience, and all his experiences at HBCUs, or he's not a celebrity, he's not this, he's not that. I'm a football coach, and I'm a winning football coach. And I said that, and I stand on that. I got 9 championship rings, and I put them up against anybody. And I know that I'm prepared, and this is my calling. So that's how I feel. I feel really good. And I thank the board, the administration, Coach A.D. Banks, and everybody that has faith in me to lead this football program. It's a blessing.
That Keish, he meant it. I stand on that, and he's right. Let's give him credit, man. You got to give him credit. Only coach who has won for Southern and Grambling in the Bayou Classic as an interim head coach, right? Go ahead, Keish.
Correct. And so that was the story I led with last year. You know, he's the only one that has won on both sides. And so you're saying you got 9 championships. Okay, so that means on December 7th, we are waiting. We're waiting for 10. We're waiting for the 10. And rowdy kids. All we want is another championship. So, you know, to be able to see. For me, y'all know how they complained about overtimes. And someone made a relevant point. They said, one time is just luck. But if you keep winning, you find a way to win, it's now a skill. And I was like, you know what? That's the way to put it. I'm going to just take that and just run with it.
Well, those cardiac cats, they keep on winning time and time again, and you have to give them credit for how they've been winning, and they've been doing it with such ease. And I had to firsthand to see it at Texas Southern, man. I told those guys there was time still left on the clock, and I was right there in the end zone when it happened. So it still can be done. Let's listen to Coach Chennis Berry.
Urban Sports Scene here with MEAC Championship coach Chennis Berry. South Carolina State defeats Morgan State 54-7. And with a backup quarterback, when you took this job, coach, is this what you envisioned?
Well, you know, we always believe, man, to God be the glory, first of all, man. We found a way to win a football game. Winning is hard. So, you know, but our young men were prepared, man, and our coaches prepared them to put them in a position to be successful. So all in all, I'm just super proud of our team and our program right now. You know, when I first took the job back in January, I had to get guys to buy in and believe in the process of what we're all about. And our process is real simple. Just try to go 1-0 every day. And I think our young men have wholeheartedly believed in that, and we found a way to go 1-0 today, man. So the journey's not over yet, though. We have another game to play, and we have senior day next week for our seniors, their last home game, and we want them to go out the right way. So the mission doesn't change, man. We got 24 hours to enjoy this victory, and then we'll get ready for a good Norfolk State University football team.
Yeah. 24 hours and they're right back to it. And knowing Coach Berry, those guys are grinding it out and they want to, if you're a senior, man, that's your last time on the field in Orangeburg. So you want to go out a winner, don't you? Right, Ray?
Oh, 100%. This is the opportunity that they're relishing, man. The excitement from the alumni, Coach Pugh was on the field after that game. The feeling that fan base has, I really feel like this, and I know I'm gonna get in trouble possibly, but and I said this last week. South Carolina State probably has the best fan base in the MEAC, man. I really believe that. Coach Pugh used to always mess with us when he came on our show. He would say, y'all down there at Howard and Morgan, y'all used to not have no fans. We always got games sold out. But but you know what? It's kind of true, man. And he don't cut no cards, man. But the celebration, those guys look like, you know what? I'm so glad to be part of this. And Coach Berry talks about how he believes in each player, and those guys feel it. And it was just a different vibe coming from the Bulldogs this past weekend. And I think that they're gonna relish in that moment, Kyle. I really do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Keish, you guys got a big competition on December 7th headed your way, or you guys are headed that way to the vet in Jackson, Mississippi. Let's take a listen to Coach T.C. Taylor. Well, not really just him, but the celebration after winning the SWAC East.
Thankful to our athletic director who brought us to this to this amazing team. I had no doubt that you all were going to get us here, and I know where you're going to take us to as well. So grateful to you all, best team ever. Y'all keep doing what you do, and congratulations.
All right, that's just a little bit about what happened with the Jackson State faithful there. T.C. Taylor, Keish, talk about him, and remember when he first got the job, how people were kind of wondering if that was going to last, or if that's going to really be, he's going to really be the right person to be able to fill in the shoes and get that shadow away from Coach Prime that lingers over that program. But over 2 years, all he's done was win, right?
Right. So, you talk about a coach that has gone undefeated in conference play, and has built a program. And like you said, he's gotten that shadow away from over him. I think the most respectable things is, remember him playing, I think in the first one, like in 99, he was on the team. And so when you look at, what he has built as a respectable team, they found a way to win on Saturday. They did. And so, like I said, I didn't get a chance to talk to him until Monday, but, it was, just to say that you and your staff have been able to, to recruit and put together, one of the best teams, if not the best team, in the conference. And and get back to the championship once again. You can't do anything but respect that. Like, that's just nothing but respect, not only for him, but that coaching staff, as well as those players, which is so funny. Have a coach there, Coach James, and I tease him all the time. Coach James was playing ball at Tuskegee when I was watching him. So now I see him coaching at Jackson State. And I said, well, Coach Slater must be really proud of you. Some of the guys, Javancy Jones played at Jackson State, is also coaching. And I remember interviewing him when he was still playing. So that just makes me feel old, but it does. It's just, it speaks volumes to what they have done to that coach, to that team over at Jackson State.
Yeah. Ashley Robinson, Ray, you talk about the work he's done. He's been able to recruit Deion Sanders, Tamika Reed, and now he has Mr. T.C. Taylor leading that football program. How's he rating to you as a athletic director?
Well, I mean, you aired the interview with Sayers Guthrie last week, and I could just speak to what Asayas Guthrie told me, he's, of course, for those who don't know, he's a safety for Jackson State, starting safety, former MEAC guy. But anyway, that was one of the reasons why he went to Jackson, why he chose Jackson. Now, mind you, he entered the portal from Delaware State right around the time when Prime was getting ready to leave, when Coach Prime, was getting ready to leave Jackson State. So many on the outside would have thought he would not have picked Jackson State, but he said, I chose Jackson State because of Ashley Robinson and TC Taylor. And it just speaks to how guys see what they're building and they respect what they're doing. And that's a heck of a track record. I mean, Mo Williams, can we include Mo Williams in there as well, Kyle? Because
well, you
I'm
look
just
at
saying,
what Mo's doing right now. Why not?
yeah, I'm just saying, like, I feel like why not? Why wouldn't a student athlete want to go there? If you're a coach, assistant coach, those who aspire to be a hair coach, why wouldn't you want to go and work for a guy like Ashley Robinson? I think he's doing a phenomenal job, and he hasn't missed a beat. That's the great part. There hasn't been a drop off at all. And I'm not going to mention no other schools, but we've seen drop offs at other institutions.
Yeah, definitely. I think AD Robinson had to let people know, don't talk about my coaches anymore. He had to let people know. So, guys, we will be back with our special guest, Mr. John Grant, the executive director over there at the Celebration Bowl, as well as Band of the Year and the MEAC SWAC Challenge. We'll be back in 2 and 2. Thank you.
So, what did you think of the pitch I emailed you?
Yes, the one that you emailed me. I remember. The pitch? Oh, Dog Days. What a title. Here we are. Very Victorian, which I loved. Unique relationship is formed. I love unique relationships.
With a twist.
I know, because I read it.
Great. I'm going to tell them you're interested.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
Something amazing is happening here. The next era of AI has arrived. CDW data engineers are helping organizations harness the power of AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. The power to run workloads faster means greater performance, giving your team a better shot at success. Make amazing happen. CDW.
Prime Big Deal Days is coming October 8th and 9th. With exclusive savings just for Prime members, you'll feel like a big deal. Shop deals on electronics, fashion, and more this Prime Big Deal Days, October 8th and 9th.
All right, Kyle T. Mosley back with Ray Rogers as well as Keisha J. Kelly. Guys, we have a special guest with us today. That's none other. If you didn't see those two clips, you got number 1 and number 2. You got North Carolina A&T Marching Band, number 1 in the Band of the Year competition. And you got FAMU at number 2. We're going to have John clue us in on what's going to happen down the stretch for that competition. Mr. Grant, how are you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic, man. Thank you all so much for having me here today.
Man, finally got you in the building with me, John. We've been talking all these years. Finally made it happen. It's good to see your face, man. How do you feel about what's happening thus far, going into the final stretch of the season, where you have one team locked up for the Celebration Bowl, and you have a competitive SWAC competition between Southern University as well as Jackson State ahead?
Well, I look at it as the season, shapes up just as it should. We want to congratulate the South Carolina State Bulldogs on their clinching of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference Championship. What a season for Coach Chennis Berry and the Bulldog team. Really, really proud of how they have handled themselves and certainly what they presented on the field this season. Just really excitement, though, on the SWAC side. You got two great programs that have had a tremendous season. I have to call the Southern State Jaguars the Cardiac Kids. Because
we call them the Cardiac Cats.
Cardiac Cats. I like that. Cardiac Cats, because they certainly had their fans on edge all season. But congratulations to them, and certainly congratulations to the Jackson State Tigers on both of them. One clinching the West with Southern, and Jackson State clinching the East. I think it's going to be a really outstanding SWAC championship game.
Yeah, definitely. To have either one of those programs, I know, has Southern been there once before, or will it be their first time ever?
This will be their first time if they were to make it, yes.
All right, Keisha, the pressure's on you guys.
Listen, I tell people that the Celebration Bowl is a game, but that also means alumni chapter work. That means work for the alumni chapter. That means work for us. So if they come, that's more work. But we're prepared. We're prepared for the work. We're prepared.
Well,
let me tell you what, it's work that she would relish. She would relish it, I'm sure. You and the Alumni Association of Jaguar Nation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, John, talk about what's happening. Any big news about the Celebration Bowl or surrounding the Celebration Bowl that it's been a little bit different than years past?
Well, obviously, the date change is the biggest thing. The biggest news is not new news now, because it was announced, earlier this year. But we're a week earlier than traditionally. Since the bowl was launched, we were the third weekend in September. We're now at weekend number 2. But with this expansion of college football playoffs, the expansion of the NFL schedule, on all happening, converging on that third weekend, all the bowl games that were scheduled on that weekend were moved and relocated, and some were pushed up into the week, because after Cricket Celebration Bowl, you have a 9:00 game coming out of Montgomery. And then on Tuesday, so during that week, got a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday game of that week. So we were fortunate with the bowl game to be back in the position of opening the bowl season, which was important for us. It's important for this game to be first, and certainly on that weekend, we're going to be a lead into Army Navy, which will be on CBS at 3:30. But we're going to get the tailwind, though, of college game day, which will be a lead-in from 9 until noon, and then the bowl game at 12.
How much of a boost do you guys anticipate for your ratings when it comes to that?
Well, it'll certainly be a boost from what we had last year, because we were up. We had a game that we came on at noon, but there was a game that started at 11, and then you had the NFL come on at 1. So we were sandwiched in between, but this year we're going to be solo. So without question, I think that'll put us back into positions where we've historically been, around that 3 million viewer mark.
That'll be excellent for you guys. I know if you had to chart where you want that mark to be, would it be more in the 5 to 6 million range, or what's your goal there?
Well, we would love to be in that range. If you're in that range, then you're in the range with, a lot of the Power 5 games that happen. But, where we are, we're rated among the top view bowl games. When you think there are 43 bowl games, and when we're in that range, we're rated around somewhere like number 8. So that's a good spot to be for FCS conferences in the mix with FBS and major bowls.
All right, excellent. Ray, any questions for John?
I just want to ask, do you hear the chatter around the streets? Because the streets, the people, they want to see that rematch, South Carolina State and Jackson. No offense to Keisha, but that's what people want to see. Does it matter really to you all what teams play when you have so much, invested into all the institutions?
Well, that's a very good question, and I get that question a lot from people who are, regardless, I'll have teams tell us, we know that you want us in the game. My response is going to always be the same. We want the champion. It is a championship game. So regardless of what happens with teams, how schools draw in their regular attendance, it doesn't make a difference if we don't have the champion. And so if the school desires to be here and their fans desire to be here, then they need to win. There's only one way in, and you have to win.
I love that, John. Only one way in, you have to win. I love that, man. Keish, any questions for John?
I think you said it well, and I've heard it from both sides. South Carolina State is saying we want Jackson State, we want Southern. I don't care. In my opinion, I'm the same way. Whoever shows up, whoever wins. My question is I'm gonna go to the band side, because we know, to me, we're the sports side, but when it comes to the battle of the bands, how much more is this band like? The band is taking on a life. The band is taking on a life. How much more has the band taken on a life, as we're seeing with the battle of the band, or the band of the year? How much more has that taken on life this year versus last year when they first started?
That is an excellent question. Last year was our first year. We were really looking to make sure we kind of feel our way through, because this has never been done. What we did last year has never been done in the history of marching bands, with a season-long competition that culminates in a championship. And then, the key component of that, Keisha, was we had to make sure that it could work for television, that our producers and the crews around it could actually produce produce programming with that would be appealing to the audience. And we got a resounding yes. Of course, we had some things we needed to tweak, very minor things that from production, but they gave us a 2 thumbs up. And with that, that in our pockets, we knew now we can come back this year and really enhance what we had last year. I think we all agree that a part of what makes the HBCU football game experience what it is obviously great football on the field, but everyone loves music, and our halftime shows are part of that. Our goal with the band of the year was simply to do this, to give March, what I call them, musician athletes, because that's really what they are. With the amount of work that is put in by members of a band, to create a unit that can operate with precision and efficiently and still play quality music the way the HBCU bands do it, it doesn't happen in any other quarter of the globe, not to the way that they do it. So our goal was simply to create an opportunity where band members and kids who are part of bands could also compete for championships. And with the desire being that every performance matters. Mm-hmm. And you're not necessarily playing against the band as we would have in a halftime show. That's not who you're competing against. You're competing against the entire field. So that show that you're putting on today, you have to keep in mind that you're not my competition only. That I'm putting on this best show because this show could be the show that the judges are evaluating me against everyone else in the field. And we found what we have found is that band directors have embraced that. The kids really like it, and because it gives them something to play for. There's a significant payout to bands who make it. So there's a goal to get here, just like with a bowl game, the goal to get here. And our objective is to make sure that money goes to the band program, because that's also important. And you get to compete for a championship. So last year, very good show, exciting show. 4 great bands competing. It came down to the wire, because I can tell you, although North Carolina A&T pulled it out, the numbers were very, very close in the professional judges who judged that. And so congratulations, North Carolina A&T last year, and congratulations to Florida Memorial in Division II. And my final note on that is we've made a tweak this year. We've added the Metro Atlanta band, high school band of the year.
Oh,
so
great.
We have, we identified the judges did doing 2 high schools from each of the surrounding counties that are also on a season-long journey to get to the championship. And so the top 2 of those bands will perform along with the 4 HBCU Division I and Division II bands.
John, I really like that very much, because that engages the crowd and the community around Atlanta to come and be a part of this whole event. Can you stay around with us for another few minutes? Okay, we'll be back in a few minutes, guys. And this is Kyle T. Mosley of Black Sports Insiders, and our guest is John Grant from ESPN Events. We'll be back.
November is American Diabetes Month. And while nearly half of us have diabetes or prediabetes, every story is personal. There are stories of strength.
Every day is different, not one day is the same.
Hard work.
No es tenerle miedo realmente a la enfermedad, es saber cómo combatir la enfermedad.
And heartbreak.
When she passed away, it was because of diabetes.
But no matter your diabetes story, we fight for you and to find a cure. Join us at diabetes.org.
To the inconsiderate monster who has been stealing my pudding, I hope your conscience eats at you as you have eaten my pudding. Bring my pudding back. I wish you the worst, Dale.
Beautiful words. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I am genius.
Come to McDonald's and treat yourself to the Grandma McFlurry today.
So I trust everyone's read the prospectus. Lance, why don't you take us through it?
Let's get into the prospectus.
Okay.
I am genius.
All right, it's Kyle T. Mosley from the Black Sports Insiders Black here with Mr. John Grant. John, you were about to talk a little bit further about what's going to happen the night before the Celebration Bowl, where the Band of the Year competition will take place. And just before you go into that, the top Division I bands right now, the rankings have it as North Carolina at number 1, Florida A&M at number 2, 3rd, Jackson State. 4th, Bethune-Cookman. And 5th, Norfolk State. And surprisingly, 6th, Southern University. Very stringent criteria that they have been using to be able to evaluate each of these bands. Division II, the top 5 are Virginia State University, Florida Memorial, Savannah State, Langston University, Winston-Salem at number 5. Okay, John, when will all of this wrap up? Will it be at? I'm sorry?
I said, when will it play itself out?
Yeah, when will it play itself out?
So what the rankings that you're looking at now that fans have been seeing, they're snapshots. So they're rankings for that month. And so the rankings you just went through are for the month of October.
October, correct.
The November monthly rankings will be coming out next week. And following that on the Monday, well, they'll come out on Tuesday. The Monday right after Thanksgiving will be the final. That's the cumulative that will show the rankings from 1 through 15, and the top 2 in each division are the top 2 that will be coming to Atlanta.
So it's still very important that these bands put on some great shows the last week in November, correct?
The fact of the matter, everybody is still in it at this point. So the week before, the month before, when you looked at September, Florida A&M was ranked down about number 4 or 5 or something to that effect. They jumped to number 2 for the month of October, and I think Southern was ranked a little higher. They dropped down a little bit, but they're still in it. If you're still within that top 7, and you perform well in November, it can easily vault you up in a cumulative way in the top certainly in the top 2 is where you want to be. Actually, you really want to make it into the top 5, because there are some other criteria. Then once you're in the 5, then the committee comes together and they're evaluating all kinds of criteria. Some of the criteria, one of the criteria, basic one is, if you win, can you come? If you're in the top 2, can you come? Participation is a part of that process as well. When I say participation, band directors, they have to submit their what the performances they want the judges to adjudicate. If a band director doesn't submit, then the committee still goes out and they search for performances that they and pull those out and adjudicate those. So a band director's engagement through the season is also one of the culminating criteria that they use, along with others as well.
Excellent. Look, John, I told you once before, I'm an old drum major. And I love the fact that you guys got the top 10 drum majors out there, top 10 percussion and musicality and dance troupe. But it's nothing like the drum major. We got to lead it all, like I do now. But it's great. It's great to see, man. And I have to appreciate what you guys have added to the whole event. And at the event, will you guys have any like special guests, musical guests, anybody scheduled already, or is it just going to be exciting to wait and see?
This year, the focus is on the bands. And we have with the 6 bands, and the band of the year, again, is on Friday, December the 13th. The show starts at 7 p.m. and goes to 9:30 p.m. at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. As I indicated, we've got the 6 bands. Each of them will have up to 15 minutes to put their best show forward. The judges will be there judging it real time. Last year, we didn't announce the winner that night. We waited until the next day. We found in talking with our producers that there's a lot more energy when we're able to announce that the winner at the event, which we will do that night as well. So, what we're building out here is what we're calling championship weekend. You got the championship for marching bands on Friday, then you have the championship in football on Saturday. And our goal is, as we build this, you were holding that what do you call those? Yours?
A baton? Yeah.
Baton?
Mace.
Yeah. Your mace.
Where did you march at, Cal?
Excuse me? Do you want me to pull footage? Do you want me to pull footage? McDonald 35 Senior High School Marching Band.
Oh, jeez. I know about McDonald 35. I do. I do.
All right. You better trust that. I was a part of the Tenacious Four, baby. All right. Let's just get it straight.
Imagine in that, in a championship like this, just like football players get championship rings, that you were able to sit here years later after being in a marching band, having been a national champion, and also be able to show a championship ring as the national champion of marching bands. That's the vision that we have. And we know that as this evolves forward, that's what it's going to be. We also have a vision that, the compensation will ultimately go beyond just the top two. That as we grow this, and it will, and I've got some really big announcements to make. I can't announce them here because we're still finalizing the paper, but there's a huge announcement that's about to come out.
On, you gotta give me something, John.
With Band of the Year. Well, let me say this: we're going to be announcing a new title sponsor for the Band of the Year. I won't tell you who it is, but that will be coming out. I can tell you this though, just last night around this time, we finalized a deal with Amazon as a major sponsor for the Band of the Year.
Congrats.
We just this year alone from last year, we've added about 6 new major corporate partners in the Band of the Year, and the phone continues to ring even to today, where we're evaluating how we can get people to fit. But that event, I want you to hear me say this here. That event over time will be as big as the Celebration Bowl, if not bigger.
Yeah,
it will be because everyone loves music.
Yeah,
it will be because we are crossing over not just the Division I's MEAC and SWAC, but this encompasses every conference, including the independents. And the independents would be North Carolina A&T, Tennessee State, Hampton, who are not a part of an HBCU conference. So because the reach is wider, the fan connectivity will be broader, but it'll also make the whole bowl weekend even that much bigger when you're crowning music champion and football champion.
Yeah, man, that's great because.
Hey, Sal, can I ask one more question?
Yes, go ahead.
Can I ask? Oh, so I'm sorry, John. I don't know if you remember this years ago when I interviewed you and I asked you about a battle of the bands and bands coming in and the game day experience. Now we're able to see in real time how it's actually unfolding with adding the bands, and you're saying that it's going to be as big. I think it's true because everybody loves HBCU bands. Everybody, it's kind of like a married couple is what I always say. The band and the football team go together. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I ever would imagine like in real time seeing like these two different things, because you do get a whole championship weekend.
And I try to make sure that we delineate between what we're doing with the Band of the Year and Battles of the Bands. Battles of Bands are great. They're invitationals. You get invited. They're exhibitions because you're not competing. The only way to get here is you have to win. You have to put your best foot forward. You have to be ranked in the top 2 in order to get here. So it's just, if you think about the model is just like what we're hearing now a lot with the college ball playoffs. To get into the playoffs, you have to be ranked by the committee once you're outside of the conference champions. And that is the case here. So, but the beautiful thing about the Band of the Year, what I love about it is, we got Dr. Julian White, who's one of the co-chairs, along with Professor Dowell Taylor, right. Dr. Julian White from Florida A&M, and Professor Dowell Taylor from Jackson State, two outstanding and legendary band directors with over 100 years experience combined. And then, our committee is comprised of some legendary people who were who led marching bands, and some who are still a part of them today. And what they are also doing is after each adjudication, they give written feedback to the band directors. in terms of how they can improve in certain areas, which the band directors really love that. And what I'm hearing, I'm not a band person, which is good for me because I can be objective and neutral, and I'm learning a lot. But what they are saying is that they have seen marked improvement from bands last year to this year.
Oh, good.
In
Awesome.
innovation, in what they're in their presentations, in their showmanship, and so that's what we hope. And then by adding the high schools, we're also hoping that that young person who can't play a sport can say, you know what, I can play an instrument and still compete. And that's what we hope comes out of this too.
All right, great. Ray, any last questions for John?
I'm tapped out, man. I'm just sitting here thinking because my school doesn't have football and I'm on the sideline too often. So that's what my mindset is. But it's great what it's great what you're doing, and I'm just excited for the future because based on everything that you're telling us, we haven't seen the best that's yet to come. And that's amazing because it's already been spectacular the way it's all come together. And I'm excited for all the schools involved. I'm excited as a MEAC guy. I'm excited to see Norfolk State there at the top of the rankings. So congratulations, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And look, they're grading the categories on musicality, pictures, drill and design, percussion, drum majors, auxiliaries, dance, flags, majorettes, and the highest possible points per band will go into that ranking, correct?
That is correct. And
right.
Look, what we're all building together. Having us on this show tonight, and I want to thank all of you for doing that because that's a part of what's required to build what we have. This is our Super Bowl. This is our Super Bowl weekend.
Thank you.
And
Thank
so
you.
where we have to continue to work through where people who used to say, well, if my team's not in it, I'm not going. We want them to say, hey, 2 tickets to the Celebration Bowl, give them to me. I don't care who's playing. I just want to be there because it is that kind of environment. And that's what we are working to continue to build, which is an experience that you can't get at any other game. There are some great experiences with HBCU games through the season. But we want to make sure that the Cricket Celebration Bowl and Championship Weekend with Band of the Year is 10 notches above. That's what you want to be there, and people are putting it on their list.
John, before you get off, man, you and I had a great conversation once before about how important it is for attendance, but also how important it is to help out with the media. Kind of touch on that as well.
Well, we've entered a new era in terms of for HBCU football and television. There are more HBCU games televised this year than there ever have been in a single year in history.
Wow.
Let me repeat that. There were more HBCU games televised across multiple platforms, whether it's HBCU Go, ESPN, the NFL Network. I mean, you go down the list, than any other time ever in history. With that being said, how we approach the game, how universities approach the new asset and the new tool called television has to be different. We've always measured a game when we would say whatever game or classic game is the largest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that measure is no longer true unless you specifically say the largest in attendance. Because what's being measured today in across everywhere else is total live audience. That includes attendance, but it includes also viewership. And when you put those things together, I can say without hesitation that the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge and the Cricket Celebration Bowl, there is nothing close in the HBCU space in total live audience. Cricket's MEAC SWAC Challenge this year broke a record with 1.3 million viewers.
And it was a good game too.
Yes, and it was.
It was a good game.
And on ABC in a primetime slot, Saturday Night Football live on ABC. And the same thing with the bowl game. So every game has its meaning and what has its purpose. Every classic game. But the reality is that the landscape is changing and media is changing it. And so we have to change with it. Just like, I don't know, 15 years or so ago, a show like this would not exist,
right?
That you have. So the media and content distribution landscape is changing, and we must evolve with it. Attendance is important. Don't get me wrong, it is, but it's really cosmetic. You want people in the fans because the presentation on television, and it draws a viewer if they watch a game and the stands are full. If you turn on a game and the stands are sparse, what you'll see are different camera angles, because the crew will shoot angles that don't show the crowd, and you don't get the crowd energy because they're not necessarily there. So all of that changes the presentation. We've shot, and forgive me for being a little long, but we've shied away from Thursday night games. Man, I was watching college football just on tonight, Wednesday night. There was college ball on last night.
Yeah.
So there are schools playing on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for college football. That 10 years ago did not exist. So we have to make sure we are working toward what is viable. And for us being a network, we recognize that there are three things we have to do. Number one, we want to create a world-class second to none experience for the student athletes. If you earn your way to the bowl game, or you get invited to the MEAC SWAC Challenge, that you get an experience like none other. Number two, a world-class second to none experience for the fan. If a fan decides, from the moment they decide that they want to go, what is their experience like all the way through to the point when they leave and after? And the third is the same thing, but for the fan who watch. So where are we going with the Celebration Bowl? Well, what happens on Super Bowl Sunday? Everybody's having parties.
Everybody's party. It's a nationwide, and now it's becoming a worldwide celebration.
And people gather with their friends, etc., and they're turning on the TV to watch one of the largest sporting events, second to soccer, in the world. Well, guess what? I want imagine on Cricket Celebration Bowl Saturday that around the country, people who can't come, but they're gathering with their friends to watch our Super Bowl and to create Super Bowl parties, which in turn increase viewership. So that's our next thing. The next thing is, if you can't come to the game, watch it. Bring friends together. Watch it on your phone.
Yeah.
On your mobile device, because every view counts. And then I'll tell my friends who are on here who are coming to the game, hey, turn your television on when you leave home anyway. Those numbers count.
That's a good one. Yes.
Bowl, but turn your TV on.
Put it on ABC, guys. Put it on ABC. All right, John, we got to get you back after the Celebration Bowl, but I will see you there this year at the Celebration Bowl. Make sure you just don't have Keisha there. That's all we don't. She's always going to be supportive. But look, thank you for everything that you guys are doing. Congratulations ahead of time for the great work with the Band of the Year, as well as the Celebration Bowl. And we can't forget what you guys did with the MEAC SWAC Challenge as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. See you all in December.
All right. We will be back in less than a minute with the wrap up of the show.
Wow. Hey, Jay, this project might need a bit of zhuzhing. Hollaback, Warren.
Please let me know your thoughts. Best regards, Warren.
I am genius.
Okay, we are back, guys, and we're about to wrap everything up. The last 5 minutes of the show. Guys, that was some good content from John, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about the future.
Yeah.
I'm excited about next month, the near future, and
There you go.
the distant future.
There you go. All right. There was big news in Black sports. Ray Lewis is a candidate for the FAU head coaching position. What's your thoughts on this one, Keisha?
No thoughts here.
Okay, Ray.
Not a shocker. You know, he was a candidate for some HBCU jobs. But the rumor was, and Kyle, you might know better than me, that he wants total control of a program when he comes in. He wants full autonomy, and some HBCUs were like, no, sir. So my guess is he's getting what he wants, and my guess is he's gonna get what he wants if he is indeed the new head coach.
Okay.
Wherever it may be.
Okay, we'll talk about that later, guys. Teddy Keaton effect. That's your guy, Keish. Teddy Keaton. He's turned programs around. Look what he has done from his days at Stillman and Allen, and now at Clark Atlanta. They didn't win the big one. Miles was able to claim that, but Coach Keaton, he is for real in putting together a good program, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, even you called it, they didn't win, but it was, good for them to go.
Yeah. Coach Tremaine Jackson in his conference, I forgot the name of the conference, but he's the only Black coach. He was the first Black coach in that conference. And look what he's done now. He's the Region 2 Coach of the Year for that conference there. And of course, Dr. Alvin Parker, the CIAA champions at Virginia Union. Congratulations to the Panthers. And we have Coach Shade over at Miles College. Those guys took it home, the SIAC championship. Coach Shade
they took it home.
Yeah,
they took it home.
Yeah, he put some shade on the Panthers, boy. I'll tell you that much. They came to play, boy. So, and this guy here, man, he's a dog. He's a bulldog. And that's my guy, Chendis Berry. He does a great job with those guys. Congratulations to him for what he's been able to accomplish as well. All right, guys, any final thoughts, comments?
Yeah, why was my phone blowing up about Southern's basketball team? That's supposed to be you. They were up 14 at halftime against Texas A&M. That's changed, but still caught the eyes of a lot of people because, like I said, during the whole interview with Mr. Grant, my phone was going off about that. But shout out to Norfolk State women's basketball team, improved to 5-1 tonight, top 10 in the country. They just beat Radford University. They are for real. Diamond Johnson, 22 points. Hey, she's special. Just interviewed her the other day.
Yeah,
AKA
we're going to have that interview on Friday for everybody.
Okay.
So you guys can see the interview that you and Wale had. Man, that was a great interview that you guys had. What's going on?
Oh no, I'm just laughing at her. You know, if she think I'm old, I don't know what she's gonna think about you. So it's gonna be fun to see when that interview airs, man. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
She's a good kid.
Too funny. She can ball. I can give her that much. She can ball, man.
She's tough.
Keish, any last thoughts?
My final thoughts before we get out of here. I know because we don't just show enough love to the volleyball teams, and I'm gonna tell y'all that FAMU did go undefeated in conference play. They strike again. They had a really impressive season. So shout out to FAMU for dominating like they did in volleyball. And I just want you to know, Ray, I found a picture of Cal when he was talking about this Tenacious Four. I went and found that picture of him and other drum majors. Oh yeah, I forgot. They got the Florida Classic. Somebody said hell Wildcats. Cal, I sent you the picture of you and them other three people. I was trying to figure out which one was you.
She said them she didn't say them other three people. I understand.
Them other three people.
See,
it was for y'all. So
Keisha and I like brother and sister. You know, we got to go at each other. It's nothing but love. But yeah, KT can ball with this. Trust me. Still to this day.
Wait, before we go, who do y'all have? FAMU or Bethune-Cookman?
Yeah.
The game is weekend. Florida Classic. Who do y'all have?
Who do you have?
Oh, FAMU all day.
I'm going with the upset. I'm going with Bethune.
Good luck.
What about you, Keith?
Yeah, I think Coach Cozy gonna get them back on track, so I'm going with FAMU too.
Well,
sure.
we shall see. All right, guys, follow us at Black Sports Insiders. I'm Kyle T. Mosley. That's Keisha Kelly of the Black College Experience, and that's Mr. Ray Rogers of the Urban Sports Scene. You guys follow those guys online. Thank you for checking us out. We'll have a re-air of this if you weren't able to catch the full show, and you can always check us out on our YouTube channel. You could go to Black Sports Insiders, or you can go to HBCU Legends. It's there as well. You guys have a great one. We will not be on air next week because it's the holidays, and I want you guys to enjoy time with your family. Help out some families out there that have some food insecurities, guys. That's for real, especially during this period of the holidays. We're giving away some turkeys here in the Houston area with KCOH and Ralph Cooper's show. So if you guys would like to donate, I'll have that on the X site as well as on the Facebook site as well, how you can be able to donate via Cash App. All right, guys, Keisha, Ray, be good, have a fun time and a great time with your families, and we'll be back December. And thank God, this year has just gone by too fast, man. December, and I'll be celebrating my birthday in December. Oh, man.
When is yours?
December 28th.
I'm December 15th.
Really? Oh, that's why we get along so well. You get Sagittarius. All right. You guys have a great one. Kyle T. Mosley, we out. Take care.